And the equipment, I got an item from that fight. I ain't giving it to those clowns. I might give one to Goofy if I get one later. And we have a journal now. Ooh, spooky. We've got Sora's story, which basically the summary is his island got super fucked up, and then he came here, found Donald and Goofy, and joined forces. Characters 1 is a list of the main characters. These are all the plot important people. Or not. The brooms are not plot important. Never mind. I don't know what the characterization here is. I don't know why Jiminy's the only one in characters 2. I guess he's a side character. And then we got the Heartless list. But I don't know why. Oh, do I? Okay, I have to look at them? I'm not going to look at them. We're not going to clear out the journal. So, let's just, real quick, customize Triangle's Fire. I can work with that. And head on to the shops. Just because I want to see if there's anything cool I can buy with my newfound riches. Hey, look at this mark. That's not where that's supposed to pop up, actually. I didn't... Wow, that's actually really cool. I never knew that. Apparently, so usually you would get that as you're on your way out the door. There's a blue one, and that one you can actually use straight off the bat. That green one you cannot use straight off the bat, but apparently whatever Trinity mark is the first mark you see after getting your party, you are told how Trinity marks work. That's actually pretty cool. I really want that, but I don't need it yet, so I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to leave, go to the item shop. First I'm going to save, because saving is king. Hell yeah. Yes, we're going to take a quick run to the item shop, and we're going to get our asses to space, because you guys get to see one of my favorite mechanics, sarcastic air quotes, the gummy ship sections. I hate the gummy ship in this game. You want to know how bad it is if you've never played this game? In the second game, gummy ship sections are a rail shooter. I prefer that. That's not something I say lightly. I don't even have enough money to buy both of them a frickin' weapon. Gosh damn. Alright, well, let's try to make Donald useful and buy him that. And I'm also going to stock up on a couple of potions. There we go. Nothing too serious. I just want to... Yeah, my items are empty, so I'm going to put all of those items right into my item list. Oh god, I'm going to get fucking... Today on the list of things that were drastically fixed in the later games, putting items in your fucking quick select. There. Got 3 potions. Better than nothing. Let me out the door. In later games, it puts you right in the stock, because why the fuck would you take anything from your teammates' sections? I don't know. Do you? God. Let's do Trinity. Get some free shit. There's another blue Trinity on the ground right up near here, but I'm not going to bother with it because of the simple fact that it just gives me postcards, and I don't give a shit about postcards right now. We're going to head out to the world. We'll be back to Verse 10 eventually. This is essentially the hub world, even though there's no hub world. It's just we're going out to the mission hub right now. But we'll be back here a bunch. So, if this was a live stream, I would give the choice of where to go next. But, let's see here. This, I believe, is Deep Jungle, the Tarzan world, and this is Wonderland. And I really, really hope I'm right, because I really, really don't want to do Tarzan right now. And if you go to Wonderland, I'd have the chance to fly back and go somewhere else. But if you go to Deep Jungle, there's a cutscene when you get there that involves crashing the ship, so you do not get the option to turn back. So I really, really hope I went to the right one. Alright, so this is just mindless tedium. I'll leave this first one in and probably never leave another one in again. Can't even aim the bollocks. There's no good way to do anything with this. I 100 times prefer the gummy ship sections in the second game. They're rail shooters, they're really cool, they've got a really good score scaling system. This is just a bunch of shoot things you can barely hit, pick up pickups that you can barely reach, and get irritated whenever you miss anything. Because you will miss everything. There's no getting around it. You just will. Hey, got a special thing. If I remember correctly, all of these orb things, yep, that one was also Sylph, they are special ship blueprints. And if you have the gummy ship pieces you need to build them, you can fly as the enemy ships. It is extremely useless because most of them don't have weapons. The best thing I found to do, at least in this game, not so much in the second game. In the second game, the default ships are actually pretty decent. But in this game, the best thing I found to do with gummy ships is to build yourself a giant brick wall with engines on the back and guns on the front, and just go to town. And that hasn't served me wrong yet on normal mode, and the difficulty doesn't seem to actually do anything for the gummy ship modes. And thank Christ, it's Wonderland. I have never been happier to see this planet. Disembark. Cutscene time. So for every world, there is an intro cutscene that kind of shows off the world, you know, kind of gives you a feel for the theme, even though they're all just, you know, Disney movie themed. And in Wonderland, you start off falling down the rabbit hole, much like Alice's little acid trip in the movie. I'm sorry if you can hear me cracking my thumbs in the background and all of my other fingers. Don't know why I limited it to just thumbs. And Goofy's an idiot. That's the joke. That's the only reason that part's there. Where's there? She just says that. She won't hurt anybody. She's as nice as anyone. Hey look, another one of those fancy green bastards. Here's a secret. It's used to make a giant ladder. I believe this one just puts you up to push something in the fireplace and it drops a box out. The trinities you earn as you finish levels. If I recall, the next one you earn is, I want to say, blue. No, I'm an idiot. Blue is the one we have. Red is the next one you earn. After that is green, which allows you to unlock the synthesis shop, among other things. And then yellow you earn by finishing a world. That world being not revealed to us yet, but Olympus Coliseum. Now, here's another room that fucked with a little tiny original Kingdom Hearts play in me. I had no idea what you're supposed to do here, but I am going to save us some time and trouble and push this bed into the wall right now, because this little bastard of a door is not going to let us through. And otherwise, we would not be able to progress. We would be able to make ourselves, we're going to make ourselves small, you know, to try and go through this little bastard's door. And then we would have to make ourselves big again. And then we would have to push the bed, and then make ourselves small again, and then continue. And that's just a little bit of extra mindless tedium we don't need. Otherwise, you are all going to be taking a nap like this fucking door. This door is a dick. I know he's a dick in the movie. I know that's his thing. But gosh dang it, he is a dick. So, let's drink these mysterious liquids that I can't drink just by standing, and holy cow. Get on the table, boy. There, drink it. I do like that for this, or maybe it was always like that, but I swear what it used to do was, it used to replace the attack command with whatever the actual thing was, but now it's using triangle like the later games do, which I gotta say, if I'm remembering correctly and it wasn't like this, I'm a fan of the change. Because, as I'm sure has already been made abundantly clear, I like the second game way better. And that's, you know, that's, even with how much more complicated it makes the plot, even with how utterly annoying it is to have to play as Roxas for like 4 or 5 hours before you get to do anything relevant to the game, even with all of that, and with the fact that it is the biggest bastardization of the storyline ever to take place, because, like, this game's a little weird, and it gets a little complex, but when you compare it to 2, things just go to hell, story-wise, and keeping track of shit-wise, but I still prefer 2 over this game. I mean, it's the start of a series, you gotta love it for its own things, but the controls are sticky, the plot is weird in its own right, and there's a fair bit of mindless tedium. All the bosses are really cool, all the levels are really well designed, and the combat doesn't ever really get tiresome, barring a handful of enemies. But it just doesn't hold up to the newer games as well. But these small changes made for this final mix, HD remix thing, are making me look pretty favorably on it so far, especially considering I'm still jazzed up from beating that boss. Hell yeah. Suppose I should be paying attention to the cutscene. So, within each world, because I'm going to not pay attention to the cutscene, within each world, for those of you not in the know, there's kind of mini-plots. There's the big overarching plot involving the Disney villains and the Heartless and all that fun stuff, but there's mini-plots in every world that at the end of them kind of connect into that. So the mini-plot for Wonderland is somebody attacked the Queen, and because the Queen's a raging bitch, she thinks it's Alice. And it was not Alice. It was, spoilers that we're going to find out in the next video or two, it was a Heartless. So we have to try, see, attempted theft of my heart. It was the Heartless tried to steal it. So we have to save Alice by presenting evidence. If you saw in the previous room that pink box I accidentally locked onto, that is a box of evidence. We have to find all of them. Goofy, you're a fucking idiot. Goofy is the butt of every joke, and it gets really tiresome because he's actually useful. Oh, and now we're out of cutscene and into chatting. Gather as much or little evidence as you please. You could collect just one box of evidence, and you know what, frankly, I'm inclined to do... Oh, well... I'll think about it as I go along. We'll get at least 3. There's 5 to collect, I believe. We'll get at least 3. But if you collect all of them, you get... Wow, I have completely lost the words. You get a magic spell. You get Blizzard, which is also useless, as is Fireball. So you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to speed this whole thing along. And those of you who are using this as a walkthrough, I'm sorry. But this is... Oh, well... I'm going to be a sad camper if I fuck something up and make it harder for me to get the secret endings. Hey, you know what? I'll take that risk. I'll take that risk. We're going to grab the first piece of evidence, head back to the Queen, and call it a fucking night. Oh, my health went up. Thank God. You can never get too much of that on hard mode. So, welcome to this little jungle room. This is another place that will become, unfortunately, familiar over the course of this level. There are, at first guess, I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 1, 2, 3, at least 4 exits from this room, and a full exploration of this game, and even a not full exploration of this game, takes you through all of them. And in fact, now that I think about it, there's not 4, there's like 7. Somewhere in that range. Definitely 4, definitely 5, maybe 6 or 7. So here's another exit already, and I'm gonna knock myself off this shutter friggin' ledge. There's the other guy. Dude, not cool. Okay, fine, yeah, you just disappear. Let's go through door number 1.